Good evening, everyone. In this class, we are going to discuss about demographic transition theory of population growth. Okay, the demographic transition theory studies the fundamental relationship between a country's economic development and its population growth. It tells a universal story as societies progress from rural, agrarian, and illiterate to urban, industrial, and literate. Their population dynamics change in predictable stages. The theory describes the journey from a state of high birth and high death rates to one of low birth and low death rates. Okay, first of all, there is a rural and agrarian society, and on the portion of time, it's began to socio-economic development. It creates socio-economic development and leads to a formation of an urban and industrial society. Okay, demographic transition refers to a population cycle that begins with a fall in the death rate, continues with a phase of rapid population growth, and concludes with a decline in the birth rate, according to E.G. Dolan. Okay, to visualize this journey, we use a single graph that tracks three key metrics. Over time, as a society develops, this model serves as our map. Okay, this model, with each stage representing a distinct phase in the evolution, population evolution. Okay, this color indicates birth rate. This color will indicate death rate, and green color will indicate total population. Okay, this y axis indicate rate per 1,000 people, and x indicates time per socio-economic development. Okay, stage 1, the life at the edge of subsistence. Okay, high birth rate and high death rate. Stage 1 includes high birth rate and high death rate, like this. The why, okay, what is the reasons? Society is pre-industrial and agrarian. Larger families are an economic asset for farm labor. People have more children to compensate for high mortality from epidemics, variable food supply, and lack of medical facilities. Okay, what is the result? That means what are the consequences? Birth and death rates are both high. Okay, both high and fluctuating, largely cancelling each other output. This results in slow and unstable population growth. Okay, slow and unstable, like this, slow and unstable population growth. Life expectancy is very low in this stage. That means first stage 1, life at the edge of subsistence. Then stage 2, the great uncoupling and population explosion. High birth rate, declining death rate. Okay, this is the high birth rate and declining death rate. Okay, main causes of this stage are economic development begins. Crucially, improvements in sanitation, clean water, healthcare, and food supply lead to a rapid decline in mortality. Social norms, however, change slowly, so birth rates remain high. Okay, what are the consequences? This means results. The death rate falls sharply while the birth rate stays high. The widening gap between the two rates leads to a variety high rates of natural increase, like this. This is the population increase, natural increase, causing a rapid population growth or a population explosion. Okay, then stage 3, a new balance emerges as families adapt. Declining birth rate and low death rate. Okay, declining birth rate, this is the declining birth rate, and low death rate, Okay, causes are society becomes more urbanized and literate. With rising standards of living and education, people start to see large families as an economic liability rather than an asset. Access to contraception may increases. Okay, consequences are the birth rate begins a rapid decline, closing the gap with an already low death rate. The rate of the population growth slows down significantly. India is currently in this stage. Okay, population growth slows down. Okay, the rate of population will be decrease. Rate of population will decrease in this stage 3. Okay, now another stage 4, reaching a stable modern equilibrium. Okay, low birth rate and low death rate. Causes are the society is highly developed. Okay, urbanized and educated. Quality of life is prioritized over family size, and people deliberately control fertility. The fertility rate approaches or drops below the replacement level of 2.1 children per woman. Okay, 2.1 children per woman. Okay, consequences are both birth and death rates are low, leading to population stabilization, either zero growth or a slow increase or decrease, like this. That means it's stable population, stable. The population is older on average and has high life expectancy. Okay, in this stage, the population has a high life expectancy. Okay, the complete journey from unstable to a stable population dynamics. Okay, stage 1 high stationary, stage 2 early expanding, stage 3 late expanding, stage 4 low stationary. Okay, both death and birth rate high in this stage 1. In this stage 2, birth rate is high but declining death rate. Then stage 3, birth rate begins to decline and death rate low, and both death and birth rate both are low in low stationary stage 4. The demographic transition profoundly reshapes a country's age structure. This transformation is best seen through population pyramids, which evolve from a wide base of young people to a more rectangular or even top-heavy shape. Okay, stage 1 expanding like this, rapidly expanding, stationary and contracting. While the demographic transition theory is a cornerstone of demography, it has been criticized for being a generalized description of the evolutionary process, okay, rather than a predictive law. Understanding its limitation is key to applying it correctly. Okay, there are some limitations of this model, demographic transition model. Okay, this is not necessary. Okay, it is based on the historical experience of Europe, America, and Australia, and may not apply uniformly elsewhere. The stages are not always sequential or inevitable. It does not provide a specific time frame for how long a country will remain in its stage. Okay, these are three basic limitations of demographic transition theory. Okay, there is a case study, the dissolution of the USSR. A major criticism is that the stages are not irreversible. After the breakup of the USSR, several former Soviet countries experienced a withdrawal of social security schemes and severe economic disruption. This led to an increase in the death rate, okay, causing them to effectively move backward from stage 3 to a demographic pattern with characteristics of stage 1, defying the model's predicted sequence. Okay, it opposing the sequence. Okay, this is the reversal of demographic model, the demographic situation in USSR after the breakup of USSR. Okay, questioning the model's fit for developing nations today, historical context, modern context. The theory's applicability to modern developing countries is debated for several reasons. Pace of change, it may not fully account for the role of modern medical innovations, which can cause death rates to fall much more rapidly today than they did historically in the West. Then unexplained fertility decline. The theory describes that fertility declines but does not provide a fundamental explanation for the processes of what decline or identity the most crucial variables involved. Unprecedented growth. Many developing countries have recently seen such a drastic and rapid decline in death rates that it has led to unprecedented population growth, a scale of change not seen in the historical European model. In spite of its shortcomings, the demographic transition theory remains a vital tool. It successfully provides an effective portrayal of the world's demographic history at a macro level. Key value proposition: as an empirical generalization, it offers a powerful and clear framework for understanding the demographic journey that nations have taken and for contextualizing the changes that nations are undergoing today. It allows us to see the big picture of human population change. Ultimately, the journey through the demographic stages shows humanity gaining increasing control over its own demographic destiny. We have moved from a world where birth and death rates are high and dictated by nature to one where they are low and shaped by individual and societal choices. This transition is one of the most fundamental transformations in human history. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any doubt and query, just let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Thank you.